Hey, what's up, everybody? Big night, biggest night, years in the making. I'm pretty damn pumped up about tonight. We're still working on getting everybody in here, but David's going to do a dance for everybody. And tonight's the night of MWEB. It's been, I don't know, when was the first day? Like, what are we talking, 2 years, 3 years, Charlie? When did you first say this has got to happen?
I think it was like 3 years ago when I tweeted about confidential transactions. I think it's pretty sure it was 3 years ago.
Oh, wait,
I can even look for it.
He was drunk on sake.
There's other David. So how do we differentiate between the Davids? I mean, not visually. Like, should I call one of you David S or David B?
Smart David and dumb David.
Really
Smart David has the headphones on.
Smart David.
Dumb David has the earbuds.
All right. Well, he doesn't realize he's on the stream yet, I think.
I know. I'm just
okay.
ignoring. Sorry. I'm trying
I got a question for you.
Oh, dang it. Damn kids. What do I have them for?
You can do the blur. The blur will work. The blur works.
Yeah, no, even like it just, if I move the right way, I like a weird kid staring over my shoulder.
Hey.
I can't tell. It looks like a blurred Elvis Presley collection in the background.
Right, we're good. I think we're good now.
Well, hey, David. Smart David. So I got a question for you, because how long have you worked on this?
2.5 years.
When the miners signaled, was it like just relief?
No, well, it was pure stress.
It actually became more stressful because then we had to make sure nothing goes wrong. Mm-hmm. We have the countdown started. Once they started signaling and it was going to get activated, then the countdown started.
Mm-hmm. The relief will come when the MWEB blocks start getting mined. As long as, a chain of those get mined and like the hash rate doesn't significantly drop off, or we don't see the mempool fill up, then that's the time to be released.
Is this just hyper paranoia coming in?
It's a serious upgrade.
Yeah, it is. I'm the only one that's coined this phrase. I think it's the biggest upgrade in the history of crypto. I don't think that's
of any major coin. I mean, there's been some large project like ETH 2.0. That's huge. That's so much bigger. But there's an entire
hasn't happened yet.
Like, well, that too. But like there's like dozens and dozens of devs working on that. It's been like an even longer drawn out project for such a small dev team that we have, this is
so when for you,
this is very serious.
When's the relief come? Like when you're at I'm looking at the blocks right now, we're about 27 blocks away. So once an hour after that, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Dang, I thought I'd find you relieved.
No.
Having a glass of champagne.
I have that ready, but no, not champagne. I'm poor.
I have a beer.
Have you seen crypto prices recently? Sorry, I do. I have Bud Light over there, but I don't start that till.
You got the sparkling grape juice on reserve.
Yeah. Only the best.
All right. So, what about you, Charlie? Are you equally anxious?
I'm very anxious.
Like anxious in a.
Can't you see it in his face?
Confidence. I'm hoping for you to exude.
Well, this is the biggest upgrade on Litecoin since the start. So we need to make sure nothing goes wrong, right? So that's why we've been working really hard on testing everything and make sure everything works. But you can never know for sure. So fingers crossed.
Yeah,
so
maybe you test.
Yeah, I mean, we have all the major pools on the Telegram chat, like right now, ready to go if anything goes wrong. So we are ready, but who knows?
Man.
And then like all all that testing, like we could test forever, and that's only like covering the happy flows. It's covering the what we want to happen. But what happens if we have someone malicious out there who found some, strange vulnerability in the consensus code or in the peer-to-peer code? There's so many things that you don't like. So many different vectors open up as soon as it's on mainnet that just weren't there for testnet. So there's just there's all kinds of things that could go wrong, but there's all kinds of things that could go great. So
but definitely caution to everyone. Like, don't put all your Litecoins into MWEB like the second you can, because it's still. I mean, even Bitcoin is still in beta, right? So it's still new. There still could be bugs. Don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So give it some time.
All right. Well, let's talk about the I don't know, assuming everything goes well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was 3 years ago. You said, Charlie, you first started talking about it. Is the implementation, everything you hoped? Is there more? Like I thought today, I think the extension block thing is maybe the secret, the big thing that no one's really talking about. What do you think about it? I mean, also when its final product and its final version.
Well, it's more along the way, right? So initially, 3 years ago, when I first decided to work on this, like adding fungibility to Litecoin. So after the SegWit wars and the scaling wars and SegWit getting activated on Litecoin, everything's good. And I was thinking about how else can I improve Litecoin, right? So one of the major things was fungibility. And that's when I decided to tackle that problem. So there are trade-offs, right? So if you want like something that's super private, like I would say something like Zcash will have like much better privacy and fungibility. But there's trade-off for scaling trade-offs, right? So blocks.
As far as like the implementation, is this what you had in your head, the peg in, peg out nature of it? Do you think that this is manifested itself?
Let me get to that. So initially my first thing was I wanted to add confidential transactions, right? So what confidential transactions is, it just it blinds the amounts, so it makes the amount that you're sending and receiving hidden to everyone else, right? So no one else knows, other than the sender recipient, knows how much you're sending, but they can still cryptographically prove that no coins were created out of thin air, right? So you can still use crypto to show that I did, for example, if I sent David a confidential transaction, you can prove that I sent him some number of coins. I didn't create any coins out of thin air, but no one knows how many coins I sent. So I wanted to add that to Litecoin. And I was looking at different ways to do it, right? You can either do a soft fork where you can have some transactions are confidential transactions, some aren't. And then I settled on using extension blocks, which is basically doing confidential transactions all on the extension block side, and you peg in, peg out coins that way, right? So you can move coins to the confidential side and do transactions, confidential transactions. And then when I settled on doing that, I figured if I'm going to do that, I can do something more powerful than just confidential transactions, because when using extension blocks, you can pretty much do anything you want on the extension block, right? You don't have to use the Bitcoin Litecoin scripts. You can just do something totally different. So then I decided why not just do MWEB, which has confidential transactions in it and scaling benefits, right? So confidential transactions are, the downside is the transactions are much larger. So it takes up more block space, makes it more less decentralized. So with MWEB, we can do more scaling benefits, and David can touch upon that. What are the benefits? So we ended up deciding to go that route using MWEB extension blocks. And early on, I decided, well, maybe not early on, but I decided pretty quickly that I wanted a better name than MWEB. So because it's a mouthful and no one knows what it is and it doesn't make any sense. So we settled on MWEB, which stands for MWEB extension blocks. So I like to just say MWEB now. And then one of the disadvantages of MWEB is that you have to do interactive transactions. So the recipient and sender have to both be online. So this was technology at that time. We eventually, or David, I should say, eventually improved on that, making non-interactive transactions possible. So similar to Bitcoin and Litecoin today, I can give you an address. I don't have to be online, and you can send coins to that address. So I can give you a MWEB address or MWEB address now, and you can send coins to without me being online. So that added a much better user experience. And that was something that I did not foresee when I first started thinking about this. And this is something that's so much better now than previously.
Yeah, you saw that video I did with Tara, where she was under that impression initially. That was the idea.
Yeah.
Like there was going to be these transactions structured in some way. And I got very confused. I'm like, no, I talked to David. I've talked to Charlie. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But, the ease of use is what I love about it, that two parties don't have to engage. And if I provide and this is David, I'd love to learn about the stealth addresses more. But if I provide the stealth address, it's not my wallet having to receive on-chain coins and convert them into, as far as I understand, move them into MWEB. The sender ends up moving them into MWEB and sending them to me across in those blocks. I think that to me is fantastic. I think the way it was built was really awesome, what you guys did. So, David, can I ask? Can we get into kind of how this thing works a little bit? Is that what you guys want to go, or do you want to wait until we can actually see it happen, or what do you want to do?
We can do whatever. I can talk about how it works. I can talk about various decisions we made. What do you want to hear? What's everyone want to hear?
Well, one thing I think I posted something about it, but what I like the idea of, when you first came in to the Twitter Spaces, you were talking about stealth addresses, and from my understanding, it was like you would have a public stealth address that would ultimately, when someone sent it to that, it wouldn't actually send to that address. Maybe there would be like addresses behind them behind that stealth address that's obscured in some way from public view. And what I was maybe had a thought about was, is that beneficial? Because I can post a public static address, and then behind that there's multiple receiving addresses. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the way stealth addresses work is it's actually, there's like two public keys that you share. We just combine them into one address. But instead of just giving you the public key that you use, like we do for standard addresses, we have these like two keys that the sender can then generate like a random number and then multiply it by one of the key. If you remember, like for those of you vaguely familiar with how elliptic curve points work, you can like multiply them like regular numbers and to get like different curve points. So like these addresses, you can just manipulate them using these random numbers you come up with to generate like a near infinite number of new addresses. And we just store a little bit of data on the output that both has like the generated address and then a little bit of a few bytes to that everyone's wallet can use to try to like rewind these outputs, or tries to restore each output it sees, and it can check it against its stealth address to see like if that output belongs to them, if that's one of their addresses. So it's kind of like in a very, like, to dumb it down a lot, let's just say you have this, you have this stealth address, your main address that you share with everyone. And let's say you can just multiply it by some various number. A very naive implementation would be you put on the output like the end result of multiplying that address, multiplying that point along with the random number you generated. Now this wouldn't work for various problems, but just, like when you go to restore it, when wallets try to restore and to see if that's their output, they would take their stealth address, they would multiply it by that same random number and see if they get that end result, that end output, or the end address that's on the output. So, standard outputs, they just have the address. This would have instead some data that we can use to try to generate a new, like this new one-time use address. So, in a nutshell, then, like each send, you're like, when you're sending something to someone, say I'm sending to you, say I want to do it 10 times. Each of those 10 times, I just generate a new random number, somehow encode that random number in the output. And then like every output that comes through your node, your wallet will check with its stealth address, it will apply that random number to it and see if it gets the same receiver address that's listed on the output. So it's like there's just this little calculation that takes place.
You started out this whole statement by saying to dumb it down. Man,
to dumb it down, there's just a number, it's a random number. Okay?
I don't know that I grasp what's going on there.
So it's a little more complex than it seems, but like just think of a random number on this output. So right now, outputs have an address. It's just an address, right? For these stealth addresses, you would have instead, this output would have a one-time address, which is never reused, right? Along with this little bit of data, this random number that it used to calculate that one-time address. Okay. And then what all your wallet does is it takes its stealth address, the private keys that it knows for it. It applies that random number in some way to check if it ends up with the same one-time address. If it does, then it's like, oh, that's my output. That belongs to me. I know how to spend that one.
Okay. So essentially, yeah, you can have one public.
You can have infinite number of uses of it without near infinite. Quite a few.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing's infinite, but near infinite. Yeah. Near infinite. You can use it over and over without ever sharing like that one-time address. You can always make it unique.
Right. Well, so that's what I mean. So like if I'm taking donations, I put up a static address and no one can go find out how much have I raised money for.
Well, first off, the amounts are all hidden on the MWEB, so no one can find out. Even if you didn't have stealth addresses, no one would know how much is sent there. But what you wouldn't be able to do at all is even to find the outputs on the chain that were sent to you, because you can't look for that address. That stealth address is not even listed anywhere in the on the blockchain. All that's listed is whatever that one-time generated address is.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like.
I have a whiteboard if we need it. By the way, we can get serious. So, it's right here. I will roll it in the screen.
I already heard you. You just dumbed something down for me, and I felt dumb after. Like I didn't understand all of it to it. Right. No, but I think some visualization is good. And when we talked, I did Charlie had listened to it, but we used the blocks. I think just understanding how these blocks work and kind of obscuring that there's these parallel chains running next to each other that check in. So the MWEB is kind of a separate. Well, the way we were describing is like this separate train, right? Or boxcar, if you want to use a visualization, and inside of it. But I don't know. Do you want to try to get into how this thing works? Because I feel like we could. I just want to make sure this makes sense to you. So, main chain is one train. Side chain, or not a side chain. Extension block.
Whiteboard out. This is
all right. I didn't know how much we want to do teaching, or if we wanted to celebrate tonight. I'm here. I'm in celebration mode. I didn't know you guys want to be.
Well, I can explain a bit. So, I mean, extension blocks are kind of like a side chain, but it's attached to the main chain, right? So starting at after it activates, every block will have a extension block attached to it, and people can move transactions back and forth between the main chain and the extension block. And when you move coins from the main chain to the extension block, it's called a peg-in. And moving coins out of the extension block back to the main chain is a peg out. Right.
What can I interrupt you real quick, Charlie? So like
Yeah.
the way we were trying to visualize that is we were saying, you have a rail car on one train. They're running parallel tracks, and every 2.5 minutes when we get to a train station, you have your addresses or outputs. We're gonna call them outputs. They all get off the train, right? Is that a good way of describing it? Every single to verify that they see David doesn't like.
I hate analogies. I hate them all.
Well, I understand, but
they're all
we need
inaccurate.
analogies.
No,
we need
no, you need blocks. You need blocks. This is the blockchain, all right? You have blocks, okay? Each block has a header that says like this, that points back to the previous block, okay? Points back to the previous block, says some stuff that commits to all of these transactions. And these transactions, to look at a transaction, it's a pointer to, so a transaction has inputs, so inputs, and it has outputs, okay? So inputs are pointers back to previous unspent coins. So if you have like these transactions here, they'll point back to previous outputs that are created.
So every input at one point was an output.
Correct. Yeah. So all outputs are coins, and if they're unspent, they're a UTXO, right? For those people who've heard that, which stands for unspent transaction output, but it's just an unspent coin or number of coins. Okay. And you have when you spend them, you have to spend all of them. You can't spend portion. You have to spend all. And then so what you do is like when you create let's say you have two inputs, right? So here was an output that had 10 coins, and here was one that had 7 coins, and you own both of them. And I wish I could zoom, but I can't. So squint.
Yeah, bring it up closer. It's okay.
Yeah. So if you had 7 here, 10 here, let's say you own both of these, and I want to create a transaction. Say I want to send 11 to someone. Okay. So I will include this as an input, this 10, and I will include that 7, and I want to send 11 to say Charlie, right? To Charlie, and that leaves 7 plus 10 minus 11. That leaves 6 left over. Well, I'll just send that back to myself as change. Okay. So that's how transactions work. You always have to spend the whole input when you spend it. And if in the real world, there will be a little transaction fee. So it'd be like 5.9 something back as
right.
change. But for simplicity, we'll ignore fees. So that's transactions. A block is just this little bit of header that says this is the previous block, which points to the previous block all the way back to Genesis. And then it has some proof of work stuff in there to prove that this is, enough work was done on this, that this isn't just like some random chain someone made up. This is the latest chain. So all that's in this very tiny header. And then the rest is all transactions. And this is what the normal Litecoin blockchain looks like. But then we've added this new thing, this new block that runs parallel to each of these traditional Litecoin blocks.
Right. So see, this is where the train analogy comes in. I know you don't like analogies, David, but we're going for it.
Blocks are an even better analogy because they're accurate 100%.
Okay.
All right. So then the very last transaction then in a block is now a special type of transaction, which we call the HOG-X or the integrating transaction. But what it does is it takes any peg in. So if I decide to peg in some coins, I create a special type of output in the transaction here. And all the peg-ins for the block are included as inputs to this, as well as the previous HOG-X transaction, the previous integrating transaction. So we end up with this, this transaction at the end of each block, that takes all the peg-ins and spends them to an output, just this special output. Okay, at the very end here of the first output of this transaction here is a special type of output, and we for that output actually commits to this entire block, and in this block is all the MWEB transactions. So you have similar to how the normal block has transactions, we have these MWEB transactions here, except they're all kind of squished together because Mimblewimble is kind of special and it doesn't have individual transactions. Instead, it just has all the inputs, all the outputs. So it's just like one big coin joined block. And it follows completely separate rules than these traditional blocks. It follows all the MWEB rules here. And we add all the MWEB inputs and outputs in, and we commit to it in this little output here in the integrating transaction. So then like what you end up with is, for each new block that's created, you get a new MWEB block with all the new MWEB transactions or inputs and outputs. And then we also have the previous ones. We include the coins from the previous one here. We include it in this transaction again. So all of the MWEB coins end up just moving each and every block. To a traditional node, they won't even see any of this. Like if you don't upgrade your node, you won't know anything about these MWEB blocks, but you'll still see this traditional transaction here that looks like just some kind of special normal, like special transaction that like, it's got a weird script on it, but it's something that every old node can still validate just fine. It looks like an okay transaction to hit. But anything upgraded knows that this is a very special transaction that commits to the entire Mimblewimble extension block that goes along with this block. And so every one of these blocks has their own Mimblewimble block that kind of piggybacks onto it.
Yeah, that was something I didn't understand originally. Is that every block is like it's like one massive transaction goes in, right? And the next block comes back out. So it's almost like every single block is MWEB is checking in that the balance is good.
Yeah,
right?
the last transaction, the HogX, it includes basically all the coins that are in MWEB. Right. So if you're just looking at a block explorer, once it activates, actually, we can look at it together in the block explorer. The last, assuming it all works, obviously, the last transaction, the last transaction would
nervous.
would show like how many Litecoins are on the MWEB side. In the last transaction, the HogX will have inputs and outputs. Inputs would be peg-ins to the MWEB, and outputs would be peg-outs. So the last transaction, if you do a peg out to send to a main chain address, when it gets mined, the last transaction, the HogX will show a peg out and output that sends Litecoin from MWEB to wherever you want to send it to. And likewise, if you're sending coins in, it would go into the last transaction, go into the HogX, and then go to peg into MWEB.
Yeah, just to verify, this also then allows all the transactions, although it's clumped into one, to be seen on-chain metrics, correct?
Yeah, you can see how many coins are going to MWEB, how many coins are coming out.
Yeah, so that was a question I had gotten before, that up until that point right there, I wasn't able to technically answer was, yes, everything, although it'll be one larger transaction or however many transactions are lumped into that one in each block, but yes, everything will be able to be seen on-chain metrics, just not as a Mimblewimble, or a MWEB type of a transaction. It'll just be a transaction that's shown, but then all the metrics,
very large transaction,
right? So you won't be able to see number of transactions per se, right? So that metric might be off, but the amount that's been transacted would still be accurate. Would that be an accurate statement?
Could you say it again?
So with the MWEB, everything that David just explained, all the MWEB transactions that are in a block are going to show up as one transaction with an amount, correct?
Not quite.
Okay.
So we have.
So I guess
we're talking two different
overreaching
places,
or an overarching question then would be, how would that be broken down within the on-chain metrics for someone like me who's looking at them and trying to figure out where that fits in?
It's maybe it's none of your business, David. That's the point.
Are you talking about
I mean, this is-
on-chain metrics for MWEB, like MWEB side of things, or are you
No.
talking about just the peg-ins and peg-outs?
Yeah, I'm talking about like when I go on to some place like Glassnode or Masari or somewhere else where transactions are being recorded and the amounts and everything else where I look for things. How is that going to be shown on there? Or is it going to be shown on there?
On the MWEB side of things, there aren't any transactions, right? So you will have like, let's say,
so like down here, he's talking.
yeah, 20 inputs and 20 outputs. You don't know if that's one transaction. You don't know if that's 20 transactions. You just know, and you can't even see how many coins were sent, right? So you just have number of inputs and number of outputs. Of course, if you're running a node, you could be seeing some like MWEB transactions go through your node, right, when it's passed via the peer-to-peer network. So you can see it that way. But if you're just looking at a block, you can't really see how many transactions there are.
They're all consolidated.
Yeah. So when
you get the sum of the result.
Right.
Exactly.
But there's there's still something to see on the on-chain.
Here's
I don't think for numbers
you can't distinguish that it's
like if Charlie and I send back and forth 10 times inside that 2.5 minutes, there's nothing registered as a transaction on chain.
Well, yeah. So here's what
My
happens,
understanding.
right? So you have, let's say I'm sending something via MWEB. Okay. So I created an MWEB transaction, sort of similar to our traditional transactions here. I point to an input. So I have inputs, input A, right? I have input B, and I own these, and they are, combined together to send to, we're not even going to have change in this one. We'll just have some new output 1, right? Okay, output 1. And then you have another, that's a transaction. We can see it's a transaction. We can see it spends 2 inputs and it creates a new output, okay, on the MWEB side. We don't see amounts or any like stealth addresses or anything. We don't know much about these other than there's 2 inputs being spent, 1 being created. Now someone else could come through and then create some other MWEB transaction, which would have input C and input D. And your node, which is watching, and it would create, some number of outputs. We'll just, again, have 1, output 2. Okay, and your node that's watching will see this transaction come in, and it will see it has 2 inputs, 1 output. And then miners, when they go to mine this block, what they do is they get rid of these links. Okay, and so what you have instead is a collection of inputs, and it'll shuffle these up. It's not going to leave them in the same order. And then a collection of outputs, and it'll also shuffle those up so you can't like retrieve the original links. And then that's it. You don't see like the original 2 transactions that were used to come up with these, 4 inputs and 2 outputs. You just see the inputs and the outputs and some little bit in between, which we won't get into. But then this goes inside of the MWEB block. So any MWEB transactions are aggregated together, and you get all the inputs and the outputs placed into the MWEB block.
But I think back to one of the original questions. So what you do see is peg-ins and peg-outs, right? So
but it's 1 peg in and 1 peg out.
No, it's not, because every input is a peg-in, right? So the HogX transaction could have 10 inputs. There will be 10 peg-ins to MWEB.
There will be 9 peg-ins.
9 peg-ins, because the first input would be spending the previous HogX's output. So it's moving the coins along to the next block. And then outputs would be peg-outs.
So
Okay.
So for the HogX, we can drive into it here. The HogX, we're talking the last transaction here. Okay, this guy. So last transaction. Okay, we have we have the first input will be previous hog address. Okay, and I'll get to that hog address thing here in a minute. And then you have all the peg-ins from that block. So any transaction in that specific block there that pegs in coins, it will spend those outputs here, as in peg in 1, peg in 2. And these will all be the inputs for the HogX transaction, which will have the following outputs. It will have the first one will be the hog address. This has all of the coins and the total number of coins in the MWEB block at that, in the MWEB side, the MWEB chain at that time will be in this hog address. So it's the sum of the previous hog address plus all the peg-ins minus all of these peg outs. So if you create an MWEB transaction over here that says peg out this number of coins to this address, it adds an output here, which is peg out, peg out A, peg out B. And this is what each and every traditional Litecoin block here ends with one of these HogX transactions. And if you ever want to know what the current supply of the MWEB is at that time, you just look at the hog address, this first output, and it will tell you all of the coins that are pegged in.
And the fees on the HogX will correspond to all the fees for MWEB, for MWEB side of things.
Okay.
And the sum will all work out, right? Because the first input will be how many coins were on MWEB side of things to start, adding all the peg-ins, subtracting all the peg-outs, and you get how many coins are left in MWEB side at the end of that block.
I got an extension block question. Assuming everything goes well and we're all happy having a good time, is this something difficult to do in multiples at some point? Like, could you have multiple different extension block applications? Is it just a big massive scaling benefit?
It's not a scaling benefit. Because every node still has to validate these MWEB blocks, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I didn't know.
It's a block size increase.
Okay, so those blocks do have weight to them, as you mentioned. Hey, hold on. We got somebody. Do you guys want a special guest here?
Who's the special guest?
Did we see his name earlier?
No.
Are you talking about E?
No.
Is it? Put him on.
There, what's up?
Oh, Lord.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
He's having coffee in Guatemala or Zimbabwe.
No. I wish.
Looks like he's in a confinement center.
Looks like he's in Canada. Yeah, he might be like quarantined for COVID or something.
He's got the
Quarantine
Canadian
for
flag on his
genius.
arm and a maple leaf. It looks almost like a maple leaf on his chest.
Oh, it is maple
Yeah, you are decked out, representing Canada.
It just happens to be all my clothes are Canadian clothes. That's all.
But
what's
going,
up,
Samson? What are you doing here?
What are
You
you
told me to
doing
come
here?
on. I have like 10 minutes before my next call, so I'll come on for a second.
Wait, where are you? You haven't called like this late?
Yeah, it's almost morning, and it is morning in Shanghai, so my team there is going to work.
This is for Jan 3, right?
No, this is for Pixelmatic. Infinite.
Oh, okay.
Are you excited, Sam?
Congrats for Jan 3, by the way.
Am I excited for MWEB?
Yeah.
I don't know that much about it, but I know it's privacy tech.
You would have if you'd have been here 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I told Charlie.
David explained the whole damn thing. Smart, David.
Can you start again from the top,
We
David?
missed
decided
Professor
David-
Burkett's class.
We've decided
They
David.
didn't like it the first time, so I probably shouldn't do it a second.
We decided David.
We have
Burkett
Cliff Notes. We'll give you the
Smart
Cliff Notes,
David.
Samson. Don't worry
and
about
David Schwartz is other David.
it. Yeah.
All right.
That's what we've decided.
We're making Litecoin a better Bitcoin.
You can try. You can try.
Bitcoin
Man.
Somebody
2.0.
record that. Somebody should have recorded that.
I've always said, is it
Unless someone else-
small B Bitcoin? They're all Bitcoins. Litecoin, better Bitcoin or best Bitcoin? Those are your two options, right?
It's a lighter Bitcoin.
All right. Now with some fungibility and some privacy. So, did you guys? I don't know much about your guys' relationship, Samson and Charlie. Do you guys know each other just from crypto?
Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Samson used to work with my brother Bobby.
yeah.
at
Yeah, where's
BTCC.
BTCC, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I stalked you enough to know that.
Bobby actually wrote a book recently. I'm actually listening to the audiobook. You guys should check it out.
Is it a good book?
I haven't finished it yet, but probably a good book. He talks a bit about me in it, so if you want to learn a bit about my backstory, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
So am I
Yeah.
interrupting? Because there was like
No.
some good flow going, and I saw David like waving his hands around the whiteboard and stuff, and then I
Yeah.
feel kind of bad. I've interrupted.
no,
No,
it's
I was
okay.
asking
It's all gone now.
questions about on-chain metrics and how that shows Mimblewimble transactions or not.
Right.
Is it cumulative? And so he was just
We
explaining
weren't-
some of that.
We were refusing to give direct answers, dragging it out as long as we could. Hi, Alan.
Man, I got some. I think
Hey, guys.
the only guy we're missing we got E's going to come in a minute. It's a little too close. It's a little too close to the time. We're like
Oh, we got
12
some time.
12 blocks
Hey, Sam.
away. 11 blocks away now.
Missed you at the Bitcoin conference,
Which one?
the
A
Miami.
Miami one, man.
Okay. Sorry, I
don't
didn't no, I saw E briefly there, but it was very hectic.
Ooh, oh, man, I don't know if I should bring this up. Should I bring up El Salvador?
No.
All right. We got Alan,
You can ask Samson about El Salvador.
Charlie.
Yeah, it's funny. A friend of mine, Min, he works at Razer. He just I saw the message. He pinged me on Monday and he said, "Is El Salvador's default going to affect you?" I'm like, "What? What default?" And then I googled El Salvador default, and I found like there's some Newsweek and other mainstream rags saying El Salvador is going to default, and they're also down on their Bitcoin. So people read the mainstream media stuff and they just take it at face value, and that's why rumors and things like that spread.
Have you been down there? I haven't been down there. Obviously, you've been down there. Is it exciting just to watch this stuff get used day to day? Like,
Well,
because
I think it's good.
you don't get to see it as a regular user very often, right? Like, I'm in the middle of Ohio, so people around me aren't using cryptocurrency all the time, and so to go and be engulfed in that's got to be pretty cool.
Well, just being there is always fun, and there's a lot of energy and things happening. Like every trip I've been down there, there's just tons of things going on, like Ricardo Salinas and people making their pilgrimage to visit the holy city of San Salvador.
Yeah.
How many miles have you racked up now?
I have no
That's
idea.
all right.
I have no idea.
Just for that, just El Salvador.
Yeah.
How many shirts in your wardrobe, though? That's really the question. Or is it the same shirt?
He just
sorry,
slammed your
30.
fashion, man.
30 shirts. They're all Canadian flag
They're all the
t-shirts.
same, just different colors.
Yeah.
Well, how are we going to commemorate this? What's the first transaction going to be here? Charlie, you got your core wallet pulled up. David, you got yours pulled up.
I do. I
You
think
gonna make this happen?
David has a transaction ready, right? We have to actually, speaking of that, for the first block, we have to have a one pegging transaction. Otherwise, a block cannot be mined. So we're getting one ready.
Oh, okay, interesting. So you've got to create.
I mean,
Explain that.
just send coins to an MWEB address. There has to be one pegging transaction, at least one. We'll probably have like 100.
What's an
All right.
MWEB to start with?
What's that?
What's an MWEB address start with?
Starts with LTC MWEB1, so it's a
Uh-huh.
Bec32 address.
So Samson, you don't understand anything about this?
I've only read about it tangentially, and then I've heard Charlie talk about it briefly, but I haven't followed it that closely. But I know the general gist of it.
You have a couple other things going on.
Yeah, a couple.
He also
It's extension blocks, it's Mimblewimble, and improved privacy.
tell us more about how you got fired from Blockstream.
It's because I spend too much time with you, Charlie. They said, no, that's not good.
You spent too much. You spent too much time playing games. That's what you did.
Did anybody, because I jumped in late, but just for general people that obviously understand Litecoin, but maybe that's the extent, anybody just talk about what activation actually means? So just so, people can understand that, I guess, as a starting point.
Like as far as like the mining signaling and then actual activation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I can explain a bit about that.
I think just maybe a lot of people might be asking that question.
Charlie, do you have a whiteboard?
I don't need a whiteboard.
Okay.
All right. There's more people coming in here, so
for
it's gonna get crowded.
the reason why we need to do miner signal activation is because miners need to be ready for MWEB. The reason why they need to be ready for it, they have to mine. Like every block now has an MWEB, has an extension block. So they have to mine the extension block. They have to they have to make sure the last transaction is the HogX transaction, right? That's something that they will have to do. Otherwise, it's not a valid Litecoin block. So another key thing is similar to SegWit, we're using an anyone can spend address type, right? So the HogX transaction has coins on an anyone can spend address, and for non-upgraded nodes, they will see that someone is spending that anyone can spend address, and that's fine. But for upgraded nodes, only the HogX can spend that transaction, can move those coins around, the coins that represents coins on the MWEB side. So we need miners to mine these MWEB blocks, and because of that, we need some sort of signaling for miners to say I'm ready, right? So we have a threshold of 75% signaling. So 2 weeks ago, we reached that threshold where over 75% of miners, actually was closer to 90%, was signaling that they're ready. And once it's locked in, 2 weeks later, which is today, in like less than 10, 15 minutes, will activate. And once it activates, all miners will be mining MWEB blocks with, and will enforce that non-MWEB blocks are invalid. So they will only build on top of blocks that have MWEB. So does that explain things well?
So what's the incentive for a miner to mine an MWEB block?
You mean after activation, or why did they signal?
After.
Well, they have to, right? So they don't have to put any transactions in it. Similar to normal blocks, they don't have to put any transactions in it, but they have to follow the rules where there's the HogX transaction, there's and then there's an MWEB block, right? The MWEB block can be empty, but there has to be the structure of it.
Okay, so if they don't mine MWEB blocks after the activation, then they're effectively going to mine like some other chain.
Yeah, it's an invalid chain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have to go and talk to all the miners to get them on board?
Yeah, I talked to most of the major pools. There are actually a few smaller miners that are not signaling, so I've tried reaching out to them, but I don't know. They will find out the hard way that they're mining invalid blocks later on.
You're gonna get a Litecoin Classic, or does that already exist?
That already exists, but they can they can fork off, but it'll be a very small minority.
Litecoin Cash.
Language.
A while ago.
I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna
go for it.
I'm gonna encourage them to keep mining.
If you have SHA-256 miners, go for Litecoin Cash. We were just having this conversation earlier this week.
Litecoin Cash already exists too. I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's available to you.
They,
if you want to turn your miners to
Litecoin
Cash.
Yeah.
Hey, 2 more people, we can do the Brady Bunch.
So we're at block 976, and it'll activate at 984.
I was thinking.
So we're 8 blocks away.
Well, first, I can't believe you don't have John Kim. Where is he?
He's late.
let's see if he'll come. Let me I send him a link.
I'm thinking like we got to go incognito if we're doing MWEB, right? Let's send some MWEB coins.
Best I can do. How's that? Is this? There you go.
Yeah, in the dark. I
Still
thought
see
about
your
showing up
whiteboard.
with like the old like damn, what's the name of the Lone Ranger. Yeah,
So
we're 8 blocks away.
Loshan is one of our developers who's worked really hard on MWEB stuff also. And I'm asking him to get some stuff working now. Monitor
Losh?
things.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, fork monitor is down. Can you handle it?
There's like 8 blocks left. Let me try to get back on time.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to have a countdown, but that's kind of impossible, right?
So tell me about the privacy improvements. Is it just Mimblewimble type privacy improvements?
Yep. So the main thing is confidential transactions. So the goal here for me is not aiming for like perfect privacy and fungibility, more like good enough. So right now, when you're sending Bitcoin, Litecoin transactions, anyone can see how much money you have, right? So just adding confidential transaction takes you like 90% there. Like for just casual payments, the recipient will not know how much money you have, and that's like 90% there. So that's the goal, at least with MWEB.
So does it work like Liquid and Monero? There's unblinding key, or
no.
Yeah.
Right. So David can speak more on that.
There is a view key. Yeah. If you want, you can, because it uses stealth addresses, and it has sub addresses just like Monero. So you can share your view key if you really want, and then others can see the transactions and stuff that belong to you.
So it works pretty similarly. Now, do you have to do confidential transactions, or can you do like a normal non-MWEB Litecoin transaction still?
Of course, you can still do non-MWEB transactions. So
a normal non-MWEB Litecoin transaction still.
Somebody's messing up with the audio.
We heard it the first time, John.
If you move your coins to MWEB, then it's all confidential transactions, right? It's all Mimblewimble.
We heard it the first time.
Hey, someone's echo. Can turn your
I
volume
think it's
down.
master. All right.
Yeah, or put on a headset. Yeah, if you move your coins to MWEB, then it's all Mimblewimble. But then you can also always peg out, and you can, like, if you want to send coins to an exchange that doesn't support MWEB, and you just peg out, right? You just do a regular send, and it will peg out to their address.
Okay. Do exchanges support MWEB addresses yet?
No.
Who's going to be the first?
They don't need to, right?
I
don't see that they have a need to support MWEB addresses. Because you can easily just peg out when you send to an exchange.
Right. Is there any cost to pegging out? Just one transaction, right?
Yeah, just one transaction. What, like MWEB fees?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are MWEB fees higher? Like in Liquid, confidential transactions are double the cost of unconfidential.
No, they're not higher. We try to keep them the same.
Okay.
A peg out would be slightly higher because there's an additional output you have, because you have your MWEB fees you pay, plus they add an output to the hog address, or to the hogx transaction, the integrating transaction at the end, to actually peg out. So you'd be paying a little extra for that additional output, but it's not much.
Actually, David,
not
are we
noticeable.
actually paying more for that?
Yeah, I include all input and output fees for like traditional Litecoin chain stuff.
So who's paying that fee actually? The sender is?
Yeah. Yep.
John didn't get to talk, so he left.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go. I have my call now. I didn't get to say hi to John, but send him.
Oh, here he's coming. He's coming. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Give me 3 seconds. He'll be here.
We are officially
All right.
the Brady
All right,
Bunch.
John. Samson waited for you, John.
Yeah.
Samson, what's up, Samson?
What's up, John?
That's my boy right there. You know, you look kind of cute today. You look a little bit cuter than when I saw you in El Salvador.
Oh, thank you.
Echo issues too.
It's Master.
That's
I
fine.
can't fucking hear it, dude.
Anyways, I gotta go. Good seeing you, and good luck with the activation.
Thanks for coming, Samson.
Yeah,
John's gonna replace me now, so he'll continue
Samson.
the discussion.
Call me. We got things to do, son.
Okay, call you maybe.
Hey,
Viva El
whoa,
Salvador.
It's
already.
a wrong. It's the wrong app, John. It's the wrong.
Good
app.
seeing you, Samson.
Good seeing you.
That'll work.
What's up, John? Are you excited?
Master, I
You
think
know-
you need to put on a headset or something.
Me? Am I good?
No, you're good. You're good.
You're good now. Yeah, it's something with
You're
Master. I don't know. What's
You know, like I've interviewed David Burkett at on my podcast, and like I was just so grateful that somebody so brilliant and honest and so ethical is on the team of MWEB, like building it. So, you know me, I'm a simple guy. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He was drawing some stuff on the whiteboard, and my eyes started to glaze over. But I know it's important stuff. But all I know is I'm a simple guy, so I'm just gonna be using it and making sure that I'm making transactions and letting the world know via real life transactions how MWEB works. So, but he's a technical guy. But I remember telling Charlie in El Salvador, and I was like, dude, I'm just so glad that David Burkett is involved in this project, because to me, his energy is just so pure, and
It's
such
Master.
a great guy.
Master. I don't know what you're doing, man.
So
You're messing
David,
everything
I
up.
love you, man. I love you, David Burkett. You my boy, son.
Master's got to leave. Look at that. Tail between his legs. All right.
We
all right.
are.
I'm trying to keep a status on things.
We are
got,
5 blocks away.
5 blocks away. But then we got to have one go in on the first block, you're saying, right? So on 85.
Put E on. E's back.
Is he here? Is he coming? Oh, yep. Hold on. I got it. Trying to manage this. Master left. I don't want to boot.
Look at that cutie. Look at that cutie.
Yo!
What's going on with you tonight?
John
Gibbs 77 in the house.
So E's actually one of the original co-writers of the Litecoin improvement proposal. So he was with us from the beginning.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Honestly, it was so cool just even like being part of the whole process. So thanks for including me into it.
Yeah, all the stupid stuff in MWEB is because of E.
100%. Like the Harry Potter stuff, all me.
I didn't want to say it, but it is true. Yeah.
What did you add? What kind of? Give us an example. Are you like a Harry Potter super fan or something?
He added the Mimble in Mimble.
I think he's joking about that.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
I was
don't know.
You know, the HogX transaction stands for Hogwarts Express,
Yeah,
which is
I
in
know.
which
I
is
said,
a
I'm too
Harry Potter thing.
That's
I'm too
actually
old.
shout out to Charlie. Yeah, he's the one who thought of that analogy. I was just roasting Charlie when I said that. Sorry.
Oh God, no, it's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Hey, you know what's crazy, guys? I know this is about MWEB, but my girlfriend tried to get me to watch Harry Potter. Like, that's one of her wish. She's like really beautiful pilot, but she tried to get me to watch Harry Potter because that's her favorite movie in the whole wide world. And 10 minutes into it, I fell asleep. We tried it 5 times. I couldn't get into it. So just want to let y'all know I'm just not a nerd like e-currency holder.
It's a
Yo.
I've
kid's
been trying
movie.
for years.
Kids movie.
So like, both with MWEB and previously while working on Grin, so many Harry Potter references, but I just can't watch the movies. They're just, I can't do it. I've tried. I have no idea what the hell anyone is talking about ever because I just can't stay awake.
I've never actually seen a single one of them. So
I've seen parts of
Yeah.
several of them.
Is it the English accent? You don't like the English accents?
Yeah,
David?
I'm just not a big fan of English people. Yeah.
How dare you, David? How dare you, David?
Yo, that's racist, bro.
I couldn't watch more than 10 minutes of it with a naked chick. So I mean that goes to show you that I really can't stand sci-fi and
You said
Stuff
you fell
like that.
asleep, man.
because I was done.
Yo, but legit, I was like the dude that I lined up to buy the books and stuff. My mom pre-ordered like the books for me sometimes. I was totally on that.
Okay, we're 2 blocks away, so I kind of have to pay attention.
2 blocks. So how many minutes is that?
Longer than your night watching Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Hey, Loesch, thanks for getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning too. Appreciate it.
No worries. No worries.
And I think you're English, right? So don't.
Yeah, I was very offended by that.
Burkett, right?
All right. So
And
what
he's-
is it at 984? Is that when it activates?
Should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the start of a
Alright.
new period.
This is
I have
crazy.
my book
I'm like,
running.
I'm interested that David and Charlie their hearts are pumping through this. You guys
Okay,
are
so
ready?
is there anything bad that could happen as soon as we go live?
You weren't here an hour ago. They were like,
That's how we
"Well,
started.
You know, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. everything's
it's
gonna go
my
fine."
network might go down.
Lots of things bad that could happen.
So we can lose the 0 downtime thing?
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
No.
We're minutes away from it. Yep.
That's like 80% of your tweets, man.
His whole ego's wrapped up in that. You can't fuck with that.
There are a lot of transactions. Is this normal? I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Can-
a lot though.
Can we tell people to just take a chill pill for a minute while we sort this out?
I don't know.
You really don't want to be the first person to send an MWEB transaction, by the way, because a malicious miner could reorg the blockchain 1 or 2 blocks and then
Just
send
to
that
steal,
coin if they
just
really
to
wanted
steal
to.
your few.
So please don't send a large amount. You actually do.
David, I owe you.
incentivize
So
people.
this goes back to like last March. I told you I was going to give you 5 Litecoin when it gets activated. I gave you 1 as my upfront, so I owe you 4. I would love that to be the
983.
first one,
Okay. Let me
We're
see
at
what happens.
983.
but I'll send you I'm doing a test transaction. Now you've made me paranoid, to be honest with you.
We're at 983.
Wow,
Oh my God.
This is gonna be historical. I'm actually here for the activation. That's unbelievable.
Crazy.
I could cue up some music or something.
We're about 2 minutes away.
You're the
2.5
best
minutes.
around, something like that.
You look like you're ready to go out tonight, or something. You got something going on.
I just came back from a steak dinner.
Oh,
Hey, to the guy in the chat that says I have BitConnect energy.
what am I
It's
gonna
not
do?
Have you ever I've never screened BitConnect. John, do you ever
Hey,
screen BitConnect?
That's all right. I joined and somebody's like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
David, check the on-call channel.
You're talking about Smart David, right?
Yeah. David, smart David went full incognito. Look at this. I'm ready. I'm here for it.
I want good-looking David to respond to me.
When's it coming on?
I.e.
Whoa.
Oh, we got it.
Wow.
Oh, it jumped. 2
2
quick
blocks
worked?
in a row.
2 quick
Yay.
blocks.
It
Who
worked.
got the peg-in?
So we good?
1.2499 coins got pegged in, I think.
10.5 years, no downtime.
David's muted. Hang on a second, David.
We're all like,
I'm talking to myself.
Oh.
I forgot to hit subtract fee from amount. So my nice, beautiful 1 Litecoin transaction is now a freaking 0.99994 something or other.
Let the record show.
History. There was my chance to make history, and I effed it up.
Wait, are we active? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, We're
Is
good.
that a valid HogX transaction?
Let me see.
You take your
'Cause
jacket off, man. You're making me warm.
The next block has something weird in it.
Yeah, E, take your jacket off.
Dang, who's typing? That's some fast typing. I'm typed like this.
Why?
We
What's
all
wrong
just
with the
want me to
next
slow
one,
down.
Charlie?
Here's what I'm waiting for, John. I'm waiting for the
985.
the relief.
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
The last transaction for 985 looks weird. Oh, there's just more pagans.
Yeah, I see a lot of them actually.
Yeah.
That's
We have
probably
nine-
me. Sorry.
We have 91 coins on MWEB now.
Wow.
Way to not send a bunch, guys. Thanks.
Frank, hey, let's go, son. Let's
You're
go.
allowed to smile. Hey. Cheers.
All right,
That's a
it's
lot of
working.
people wait for that.
I want to see the sigh of relief from you guys. Attention. David,
We do have
congratulations.
an error. One of the miners had an error, but they recovered. So there probably are some bugs on the mining side that we'll have to deal with. But it looks like we're moving along. So
Wow.
Nice.
I will get the Bud Light out. I'll be back.
That's Charlie's excited face. by the way.
Wait. David drinks beer? David, you drink beer, son? We got to get drunk together. Where you live? I'm coming tomorrow. I thought he would be like non-drinking, just very serious, working on MWEB all the time. He really went to go get beer. That's awesome.
So I'm just making sure all the pools are mining blocks. So
not a bad idea.
D-Pool mined the last 2 blocks.
So I have a guy who works in the same office as me, and he's an alcoholic, and he drank all of my beers. So I do not have any.
You know what?
Damn.
His-
You're
I'm gonna
schizophrenic,
celebrate
and
too.
it's actually you. So
It could be. It could be.
Okay.
Just don't tell my wife.
Did you get your beer, David?
I got one, John.
I didn't. I failed.
Grant,
I have none left.
Master is back. Can you put him on?
Yeah, I hope this works. Come on, Master.
he's just gonna echo everything we say.
There he is.
That was
Hey.
my bad joke.
No, you
It
got
sounds much
Yeah,
better
unmute
now.
your mic,
another
bud.
bottle. And
Master, you ain't master of shit.
Damn it!
There.
All right, I'm up.
I did one of these with
It's
you like
clear.
2 weeks ago, and it was fine.
The reveal
It's
of
no good,
Master.
Master.
E.
It's no good.
It's working.
Not really.
A
There's
little
some
bit.
echo.
Yeah, no, it's good. I fixed it.
All right. Well, when anybody else talks, there's echo, but we can hear you.
It's definitely an echo.
What? All right, hang on.
No, it's okay.
Should we say like congratulations to everyone? Like, are we good? Is everything in the clear?
Is there anything else we need to worry
Listen to me.
about? Is there
I don't
anything
know-
that
I
could
don't
go
know
wrong?
you guys, but I came on excited. We're gonna have a big fun celebration, and Charlie and David were sweating in the beginning. I'm like, I thought we were good to go, but
We're
now
still
Huge
sweating.
upgrade, man.
we're just checking.
Here,
I know,
still
it's
sweating.
huge. It's huge.
So via BTC mined a valid block.
Nice.
Cool.
And then there's another one. This one actually might be a fork.
What? Hey, why does David go dark like from time to time? David Burkett.
I think his light is coming. from his monitor.
It's all what I'm looking at, like on my
That's
screen.
that's what shadowy supercoders do, man.
I will go half dark.
Hey, David Schwartz, 'cause we've been
Yes,
talking
sir.
about this. You got any dad jokes for everybody?
Oh, I don't think they want dad jokes.
I'm gone if he says one. I can't handle it.
It depends how good it is. What if it's a good dad joke?
Oh, they're
Have you
never
ever
dead,
heard
right?
a good dad joke before? I've never
I'm
heard
a
a good
dad,
dad.
so I make them all the time.
So we're good. There's nothing that could go wrong.
I
don't
can
think
pull
so.
mine a block.
So once you mine a block, that's good.
They're watching to see if.
Of course, it's good, John.
Good or bad? Come on.
It's great.
Listen, there's 317 simple people watching the chat that appreciates the question that I'm asking because it's not
Ask it.
technical.
Okay, so they're just watching to see if other mining pools are mining the right blocks. If there's like a mining pool that doesn't mine the right block, then it creates a fork, and so they're just like watching it. And but so far, it seems like it's going okay.
But the fork would
What
just be like
the
the
longest
shortest
that
chain,
somebody
right?
would go without realizing that. If you just
It kind of depends. If it's like a big pool, then they can mine like 2-3 blocks before like the other pools might mine the other block. So it all just kind of depends. But right now it seems like it's okay.
Hey, E, does this mean you have to do a new book that includes MWEB in it?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe
True or
we'll
what?
do E2.
Yeah.
You need to fire
I
up
hope
that
the new book sells more than 5
crypto
copies.
again. Needs to open up again this summer.
Yo, I don't know. I'm broke, man.
You are
This bear market hurts.
All right. So, David Burkett, your emotions have not changed at all throughout this entire
Can't you
thing.
see the excitement on my face? I'm sorry. Shouldn't have gone for Botox before this.
You didn't get you went for the beer and didn't get it. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem. There was
You
not.
just
Yeah.
have a little take the edge.
This would be a hell of a lot more entertaining if you would have been on like Can 4 by now.
Yeah, I probably would have been hadn't I had.
But David, don't lie. Like right before this all went, were you in the back of your head where you're like, "Holy shit, this better go right"? I mean, like
I pretty much just before you joined was like, yeah, this could go awful.
He prefaced the first 10 minutes with
yeah.
all negativity, man. It was-
Okay,
Yeah,
let's celebrate.
I learned
Sure,
from
David,
Bill
you give it
Kwan,
a-
we don't celebrate.
Why'd you threw me to the wolves? Here?
if you guys were here, I'd give you some of the best tequila I've ever had in my life. And
That
anybody,
is the best.
Nice.
anybody who's
Cheers.
here that's in the chat too.
Oh my God! Come on, Red Bull.
Alky,
I don't know if I have enough for everybody in the chat.
that's all I got.
Hey guys, I just want y'all to know my wife left me in 2020 when Litecoin hit 30, and then she wanted to get back with me in 2021. And I'm in Virginia with my wife. I'm not with her, but I'm here, and she wants to leave me again. I don't know why she wants to leave me again. We're already split up, but that's
John,
what bear
what are
market
you?
does.
What's going
Is this
on
a joke?
right now?
Is
Why
this
are we?
Is this a non-dad? You're
No,
dad.
this is-
That was a bad dad joke.
This is real. This is real life. This is
It's real
John's-
life. Real life.
Yeah.
She don't talk to me like she used to in 2021.
What does this have to do with MWEB?
I don't know. Hey,
Can't see how much money he's got.
John went off. He went off chain.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Fork-
Mimble
fork the
Wimble
combo.
type of combo right there.
No, it's because eCurrency said he's struggling because of the bear market. I just wanted to say that to make sure. Listen, everybody in this chat is struggling because of the prices right now. But
Hey.
the most important thing is the technology behind
How did he?
MWEB. So
That's
I'm
what's
happy
up.
about that.
You're a homie, John. You're a homie. That's what
Yeah,
you are.
and the beauty of MWEB is you won't know if everybody's struggling or not.
Ooh,
Well, now we're getting deep.
manager. That's the managing director of the Litecoin Foundation, ladies and gentlemen.
David and Charlie are
This is John.
making me anxious.
No, nothing,
Things look
nothing
good.
wrong.
Things
Just
look
You
good.
guys are
Everything's
good.
okay.
I can't tell.
Yeah, there's no chain fork on my node that I can see. It's just one chain tip. All good.
yeah.
Sweet.
Everything
Awesome.
went well. And the error that I thought miners were having, it's just they mined a block before they received a peg in. So I actually think we're good. Like there's
They mined a block, or they tried to create a block.
They tried to. Yeah, they tried to. If you call like get block template,
Yeah.
which so if you call it before the node had received any peg-ins, it will.
Yeah. Well, it's
give
not
you-
waste. It's not wasted work. That's what I mean. It's not like they mined a valid block.
No, it wasn't a valid block. I mean, they did waste like 3 seconds worth of work,
All right,
but
so-
that's just the one-time deal because it was the first block.
So if we go to Block Explorer now, we'll see exactly what you were talking about earlier, right, with the transaction.
Yeah.
Can we bring up a block that shows that so everybody
Grant, can you
see?
share? Let me post a link to you.
Sorry to get serious,
that
but I
private-
think this
put in
is
the
a
private
cool
chat.
educational.
In the private chat.
Here, let me send you like share this Explorer link. That's probably easier
Yeah,
to see.
hang on a second. Please hold. I want to send some transactions, to be honest with you.
Yeah, can we see what what does it look like on a block explorer, like Mimble
Yeah.
Wimble transactions?
All right, I'm gonna. Oh, look at that! It actually did it for me. All right, so what are we looking at?
Click on the first block, 988.
Okay.
And then scroll all the way down.
The bottom.
All the way down, yeah. There are a lot of like.
And this is called the HogX, right?
Yep. Click
Right
on
here.
that transaction ID. Yep. Click on the transaction ID.
Yep. All
There
right.
we go.
96. Nice.
Yeah. So scroll down a little bit. So you see that it's spending 96 coins, and then input 1 and 2, or the second, third inputs are peg-ins. We have peg-ins of 0.017 and 0.099. And then the output is now how many coins are on MWEB side of things. Now we have 96.276.
Wow.
So that one, the one for 0.9997 blah blah blah, that's the one Burkett did, right?
No. Mine was the previous block, and it was
We'll
0.9. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So if you send coins to an MWEB address like right now using Litecoin Core, it will show up as one of these inputs. And vice versa, if you peg out, send coins from MWEB address to a mainchain address, it will come out as an output here.
Are these this is a standard 3 address, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming from either a SegWit or a multi-sig.
So would you say what's happening is that you have like coins going in and then subtract the coins going out, and like what you have left over, it's what's left in the extension block?
Correct.
That is cool.
You weren't even here for the whiteboard and you got it right, man. You're smart.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna go.
I wrote it.
He just forgot about it.
Let's see if I can do that again. Hang on. Sorry, guys.
And while he's doing that, John Kim, how far are you away from Austin? Yeah, you're on mute, man.
3 hours.
3 hours? Okay. I'm going down there for consensus, so if you're going to be around.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to drive down there.
Okay, cool. You can drive down.
David, maybe you can elaborate too. I mean, the more people that use MWEB, the more effective it is, right? The more it actually works better.
Yeah. Yep. The more transactions on the MWEB side, the more to hide amongst, the greater the anonymity set.
So we need to get on Twitter and encourage people to send some MWEB transactions.
Slowly. I mean, we're still beta, but yes.
Okay, slowly. Okay.
Yeah.
So you let me know,
don't
David.
send your whole balance. I mean, you can definitely advertise its usage. You're good to go, but I just wouldn't recommend.
No, David, you my boy, Blue. You tell me go time, and I'm gonna go time on Twitter.
And even especially for the next few hours, like if you put, 10,000 coins on there, you're really incentivizing miners to like reorg, some malicious miner to like reorg it out. And if you can reorg back far enough, you can technically spend those coins that you
10K. My boy John Kim has 100K, man. Come on.
Exactly. I just didn't want to.
You said 10,000 Litecoin? Listen here. Yeah. We're not master. We're not lotion. I mean, we're just simple people, regular people with like, a couple hundred. I mean, 10,000, that's a lot of Litecoin. Right, Master?
Master's muted permanently, I think. No, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Oh, you're good. You sounds good now.
Master needs to use, he needs to use some of that 10,000 Litecoin and go buy a headset, man.
Wow. Master's like the hardest working person in Litecoin.
So Npool mine a block.
I'm trying. So
we have Npool via BTC, Litecoin Pool, Dpool, which is Poolin, Binance. Actually, Binance mined the last block before the activation. So
it's almost like with the where the exchanges or whatever will tell you, hey, you need 24 confirmations. Like the more time that passes, the better. David, what you're saying is don't put it in right away. Let these confirmations come.
So if you can reorg back to pre-activation, any coins that were spent, like you're sending them to like an anyone can send address, just like when SegWit first activated, you were kind of sending like this to non-upgraded nodes. Like it looks like anyone can spend that coin, but then upgraded nodes, like with the upgraded rule set, we know that it's more limited. You have to meet these other rules. But if you can reorg back to pre-activation, you technically could spend those coins. So it's just for the next couple of hours, don't incentivize malicious miners to do something crazy.
It's not like they would be able to.
Right, and they'd have to have a lot of hash rate, and it's not like
they have to be
you can just
prepared.
spin up GPUs. They would have had to know ahead of time, and they're not gonna. It's not a real concern, but it's just like, why give them, don't stick $20 million there and incentivize them.
I think everybody in the chat, everybody here wants to get a static MWEB address from you, David.
I just sent David some coins.
David already posted his, like the first MWEB ever, MWEB address ever.
Wow.
On Twitter.
So even though that was not,
you should retweet that address, that tweet.
Yeah.
If you can find it.
Yeah, I will look for it. Yep.
So another thing,
I'd
just like to say to David Burkett that the monthly updates that you were providing were very helpful to people who were interested in what was going on throughout the entire process. Made it feel very real, and it kept us sort of like, at least for people like myself who are very average, being able to understand as you were going along the things that you were going through as a team. Right. So like when bugs came out and as you progress through that 2-year time period, it was very helpful. So thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to David, man. I can't believe this is historic, bro. Yeah. Incredible work.
Thank you. I have retweeted the old tweet.
So David, are you going to keep staying on? I mean, is there more work to do after the activation? Is there?
Let's keep him on.
We got a big list.
You're fired, David.
Yeah. So I made sure to.
It worked, David. You're out.
I have a detailed list for my replacement, so they know what to do. Yeah.
Okay. So. Are you being serious?
I'll be around. I have a lot of things I still want to do with MWEB to improve privacy, scalability, usability, all kinds of things. And I've tweeted some of it before, and I don't want to list it all out now because I'll forget most of it. But there's a lot of cool things planned.
But the most intense thing was deactivation, correct? After that, everything is a little bit easier.
Yeah, I can take my time. Yes.
Okay.
There's no rush anymore.
This sounds like a follow-up.
Some crazy bug comes up.
What's that?
You guys should have them on again and have them like do the follow-up questions, like what's next. And I'm trying to tell you how to do your job.
We'll get really wasted first, though.
Yeah, I wish I could send you like a case of beer, David. I'm bummed.
So David, I'm sorry, but do you actually get like drunk?
There's no way.
Yeah, it doesn't take much at all. Yeah. When David mentioned 4 beers earlier, that would have been excessive. 2 or 3 would have been plenty for me to say all kinds of stuff. So,
David, where do you live? I want to take you out.
The middle of nowhere.
Don't do it.
John
Don't
Kim,
tell.
Litecoin Summit, baby.
He'll show
Litecoin
up.
Summit. That's where.
4 beers, all it takes.
David, I'm
David
trying to
drunk.
send you.
I want to get some information out that month.
I'm trying to
So
send you
can we talk about the Litecoin conference? I mean, is it happening or can we not talk about it? Is this
I think Elon's going to be Master. You got Elon, right?
I can't hear you, John.
I'm close. Yeah, I'm supposed to be in charge of running it, as you can tell. We'll get Elon. We just got to wake up David and Alan.
We'll have some announcements soon.
So I'm sending right now a test transaction to you, David.
Right on.
I'm making my first MWEB transaction also.
Right now?
A tenth of a Litecoin.
I just received. Yep.
I'm gonna send
You
you
did the mempo anyways.
Hey, David,
I want
how
to.
much
So
Litecoin did I send you?
It's none of your business.
Trick question.
The point. Well, 4,000.
That's right.
The IRS.
Yeah.
4,000 Litecoins.
Yeah.
Chump change.
No.
So David, if
I'm assuming you were 0.84 then, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yep.
Oh, this is
so David
cool,
Burkett,
man.
if there is a Litecoin conference, you are coming, correct?
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna buy your first beer. So do not drink your first beer without letting me buy you your first beer. Cool?
Be careful,
All right,
David, because it doesn't
So-
stop. Just one
In
beer.
other words, you don't want him to drink any beer when he's there.
Slip you a roofie.
But hey, I got a question for you because you've shown David like a couple times. I think you've been trying to show visually, like you'll see question marks as a transaction if you look up these transactions. That's not real, right? This means you just can't find them. There's no like place to go look and says,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of question marks. I'm sending you the rest right now. Are you ready? That was fast. Right, here we go. Let's see it. Just
But Litecoin's dead, remember?
zero downtime, John. You
Totally.
got nothing to worry about.
83% of my tweets, son.
1. Tell me when to get it. 2, 3, 4. I want to see when he gets this transaction.
I just got it.
Boom!
5 seconds, man.
Thank you.
Where's Samson at? Where's Samson? BTC
Seriously,
Max
thank you.
here.
I'm gonna if a lot of you guys don't come into the Litecoin underground. I know it's a newer thing, and we have these Twitter spaces, but there's a lot of us in there every week. And the reason we love Litecoin is because it's intended to be used by people. It's not this speculative instrument. The idea is this is going to be digital cash around the world.
Very
And this
bottom.
is huge, man. Enormous what you guys are doing here. Like I don't think it can be overstated. I'll say it. I said in the beginning. Most significant upgrade in crypto history.
It's too bad. It's
so
too bad the creator of Litecoin doesn't pump it and isn't like
coins.
Charles Hoskinson and acting like Do Kwon and so many people
master.
like talk to me about Litecoin and prices and why is it this and why is it that. I'm like, man, because we don't pay people to shill it, you know, and so many of these other coins get so much they get so much attention because it's like new shiny toy, and it frustrates me, but hey, at the end of the day it's how the markets work, you know. Whoever has the biggest shill and most promoters win in the short term, but long term, I mean, you just can't beat Litecoin and the fundamentals that it has, you know. I think that's why we're all here.
Luna was a shiny toy.
Who?
Luna was a shiny toy. I mean, look, you know.
I hate the fact that he was a Korean.
all the beautiful features in the world don't mean anything if your foundation's not, you know, solid. I mean, the whole, you know, it's like building a house or anything else. If the base isn't there, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Well said, Mr. Manager, Director. Of,
That's from the real estate. No, that comes.
Hey, let me tell you guys something funny. When I was in Vegas this year, at the conference, I mean, at the races, whatever, there's a whole bunch of people there that work with Do Kwon and was just talking about Do Kwon as like this god, and Luna was the future, it's the future crypto, Bitcoin, and Luna is going to be, you know, everything else is going to be just like, you know, a side thing. And then they were just like pumping it so hard. And I was like FOMOing listening to these guys talking about Luna. And then this happened, and I was just like, you know, even people, regular people, I mean, you got to have history of being in this space for a long time and proving yourself. And Charlie Lee literally been here since 2011. Do Kwon showed up nowhere, and it became so arrogant and thought he was going to rule the whole crypto. And, you know, pride comes before the big fall. So I think everybody learned a big lesson with the whole Luna fiasco.
Hope so.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with Alan. They probably didn't.
They probably didn't.
Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't.
4 years later, we'll have the next one.
I'm actually in hiding right now because everybody I told to get into Litecoin last year, they're really upset with me. So I'm like, I have my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Is that a Motel 6 you're in or something?
This is the hotel my ex got me. She got me a really nice apartment last time I was here, like a high rise, and this time she got me this, and that's how I know her attitude has been changed. But
does the bed vibrate? Like when you slip a quarter in it and it starts like.
No, bro. No.
That's too fancy. Too fancy.
So we good? Like everything's chugging along just fine.
How many blocks in are we now?
Yeah, we're doing good.
I think we're 9 or 10.
So all the
we're never-
major and minors.
Never official till you do 11. So
Not all of them have mine blocks yet, so
I'm just glad to see E. I was on here just to see E. So
F2 Pro has a mine block.
We will
Hey.
kick it soon, David. Again.
Hey, you guys all go send.
Hey, guys.
send David some LTC.
What's up?
and
I was
Lowe's.
told that I could get A5 Wagyu. Where's my Wagyu beef?
Send it.
I'll send it to your MWeb address.
I just sent you 84 Litecoin lotion.
Yeah, there's no way anyone can check.
Well, you can check.
What would be funny, Charlie, is if
If you send him
sent
84
a-
Litecoin, Master's got more than we realize.
Dude.
How hard would
Hey
it
guys,
be
I'm telling you,
Master's got
Master
like
ain't playing with that
84,000.
Litecoin holding, son.
All you need to know is this: I'm all in. Okay, that's all you need to know.
And
How hard-
he's
how
all
hard
in. It's
would it
not a
be?
little bit all in. It's not
Look
like
behind
an
me. I literally sold my house
So white
today.
boy all in.
I'm not messing around.
You sold
How
your
hard
house
would it
today?
be to add
Yes.
MWeb to Logecoin?
But I'm not buying
Wait,
Litecoin.
you sold your house. Why?
What's that?
You sold your house
I did.
to be all in? Is that what you meant? Or
Maybe.
oh, okay.
Time will tell.
I've heard that story before. Where did I? Oh yeah.
So do I. But it takes one fearless
Look at him
leader.
Hey, Master, what made you want to reveal your face to the world today?
If people wanted to figure me out, they could. I've had people send me notes like, "Hey, I can Google you. I know who you are." So I was like, Charlie asked me, so I said, well, whatever. I mean, today would be a good time.
So can I tell people that you're going to be in the commercial too?
Yeah.
I made sure I didn't tweet any picture with you in it because you wanted to stay anonymous, and then today you just bat out.
Yeah, why not?
It's funny how he's asking you like publicly if you can tell everyone that you're in the commercial. What if you said no?
Well,
it's like a proposal at a ballpark, right? Everybody's watching.
I do, John. I do. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
the way I see it, if you're going to show your face, you might as well do it at the bottom.
That's right, man. That's right.
So
Man,
if
guys,
you can't show
listen.
your- if you can't show your face at the bottom, you can't show your face at the top.
Yeah.
When the Litecoin commercial comes out,
You want to see my
Yeah, you
Litecoin
tattoo.
tattoo?
You can get a tattoo at the bottom, Master.
Yeah.
dude, Charlie's role in the commercial is epic. When it comes out, you guys are gonna be surprised what he's holding in his hand. It was such a great idea.
Yeah.
David Schwartz.
When is that coming out?
I think they're
Midnight,
editing.
Right?
They say June. I think it's coming out around consensus, but who knows? Those, Hollywood people take months and months to edit a 30-second clip. I do that in like 5 minutes, but I guess they're such professionals. They need to make sure that everything is perfect.
Are you the
Editing's
star?
worst.
Are you the star of the commercial, John?
No.
Nah, he would
Actually,
be like
Charlie.
in line, actually.
If anyone's a star, it's 2 Chainz and Charlie and Cyborg. I'm just that. Yeah, I'm
You're
just
like
a
the,
guy.
you're like the Flavor Flav. You're the hype man, right, John?
I'm the guy with the 2 Chainz. Charlie,
yeah,
Shazam.
boy. So you guys want to hear a song or something? Play something to celebrate? God
Let's
damn.
do it.
Go for it.
Yeah, where's that
You
Litecoin
got
style
Public
by
Enemy
John
state
Kim?
of mind here.
I've got to run out, but thanks for having me on and including me in this. Congratulations, y'all. This is amazing, so exciting. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Good luck.
Thanks for being a part, E-Currency. We love you, man.
Thanks, E.
Love y'all too. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off too, but I just want to say again, thank you to David and Charlie and E and Loesch and anybody who had any part of making this possible. So thank you very much.
Yeah, me too. It's 1:35 in Virginia, and I love the fact that there's so many different people with different skills in Litecoin Foundation, and I don't. It's really bad to compare, how much influence each one has. But thanks to Lotion and David for doing it behind the scenes and maybe not getting the shine that you guys deserve. But this is history making. So I really appreciate you guys. Litecoin forever, and I'm out. I love you, man. Charlie, holla at me, boy.
Hey,
That's your boy.
thank you.
See you, John.
F2 pool just mined a block, a huge one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Because
there's
it was like 9 minutes between blocks.
Yeah, I got a little worried, but nobody had any errors. And when the block came in, my mempool emptied out. So oddly, it seems like it's working.
Oddly.
So what are we at now? Is it right that we have 105 Litecoin pegged into MWEB right now?
Yep, we have 117 now.
Oh, okay.
David, I sent you one.
Does that include your 84?
That's my first transaction.
Did you?
Man,
Yeah. Did you get it?
Yours is the only one I haven't received. All the others came right away.
Really?
Charlie's messing with you.
What if it's because you have a really old, like.
Oh, okay.
Well, did you create a new wallet or did you upgrade? Or
No,
how'd you
I
do
didn't
that,
create a
Charlie?
new wallet. It has 3 confirmations. You should have done that.
Wait, 3 confirmations. Okay. I was wondering who that one came from. All right, I thought you meant you just now sent it. Okay,
Oh,
I
no.
do see that one then. Yep. All right. Thank you.
That's your pay for this month.
There are. Let's see.
All the big pools of mined MWEB blocks now.
I don't think anyone's done the peg out yet. Maybe that doesn't work.
Oh, shit. I'll try it.
So yeah, 117 in. What we activated at what 80?
Yeah, what's up,
I have the
man?
worst
I'm
memory.
giving you
84 was it?
my address.
84, yeah.
Let me some dust.
I'm-
On
Sure.
Twitter.
Yeah.
So
This
we
is
got
this is so
Binance
fucking
also
cool.
mined one. Binance mined 996. Let me check to make sure it's good. Yep, looks good.
All right. So okay, on MWEB.
David, can you explain? Some people are asking what peg out means. Maybe you can just explain for anybody.
Sorry, I lost audio for a minute. These are the worst headphones ever. What do you want me?
Oh, there's a question about what peg out means. Maybe just kind of a general.
John
explanation of
Davies
peg
is
out.
usually really good at explaining this, but he's not here. So a peg out is when you take on the MWEB side, you can send to a standard Litecoin address or a BEC32 Litecoin address, and then the coins you'll see in the HogX transaction, that last transaction, you'll see the coins move out of the MWEB to whatever the address is that you are pegging out to. So it's just, sending coins from MWEB to traditional Litecoin address. That's all peg out.
And you guys, they keep it in. You can keep it. You don't have to peg out right away. You can keep it on the side chain as long as you wish.
Yeah, and the longer you keep it there, the more you use it there, the better chance. I say it's the better chance you have privacy. So that's there's it's kind of privacy is very it's a very nuanced thing. There's all kinds of things there's all kinds of ways that you can de-anonymize yourself. There's all kinds of ways that you can mix your transaction. So you should not assume you have perfect privacy here. We are working towards better privacy. This is a huge step that way, but it's far from perfect. But the longer you can keep it on the MWEB side, the more you can use it on the MWEB side, the better you and everyone else's chance at privacy.
And that also is the same for the more transactions that come through there, correct?
Yep. The more in there, the bigger the anonymity set for everyone. Yep.
There actually is a peg out I found, so all good.
Good. Yeah, so this went really well. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I don't see any issues, nothing popping up that's alarming, nothing yet. And see, I saw a new block just came in and my number of transactions went from like 267 to 0. Like I saw 0. So there's nothing hanging around the mempool. That was a big concern of mine, is we have these lingering transactions that would, we wouldn't be able to clear, that were just invalid for whatever reason, but made their way into the mempool. I'm not seeing that. So that's really, really good news.
Yeah.
Hey,
Also,
is there a way that we could see the extension block size right now? Is it pretty small? Would automatically adjust?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty, I don't know how to answer that question. Let's see. There is on, one second. I got to look at what files we have available here.
Grant, can you share the link I sent you? Just share screen. We can show a little bit more.
Let me refresh it. Hold on a second.
So we also have the 6 major largest pools have all successfully mined in MWEB blocks, so we're good.
I was the unofficial theme song of MWEB I was gonna play, but we'll do this first. Which one do you want to see, Charlie?
The link I just sent you.
Oh, a new one. The new
one, yeah.
Sorry, hold on a second.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Hold on. Right here. 17. God dang it. I messed up. Hang on a second. All right. Is this right? 995?
Yep, scroll down. So this is the HogX for that block. You can see that the previous block has 105.77 coins, and then there are 3 peg-ins of over 11, almost 12 coins, and then a peg out of 0.05. See the output?
Mm-hmm.
That went to the address LTC1 QH5S. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then the new amount on MWEB is 117.679. Yeah.
6.
Or
yeah, that's the.
It went up.
Yep. No, the new.
Right?
Yeah, it went up. It went up by over 10, over about 12.
Okay. That's a pegged out or a pegged in?
The outputs are peg outs. So the 0.05 is pegged out to someone.
Okay.
There are 3 peg-ins.
This total transactions worth. That's where this comes from, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
David, do you have any thoughts of how long the average person will probably end up keeping their Litecoin on the side, in MWEB, on the side chain?
I
guess it's kind of to be determined, but
yeah, it's hard to tell. It depends. Depends on support for MWEB. The more services that support it, the better chance. But I guess once you receive on the MWEB side, we have it set up to try to keep your coins there as long as possible. The change of transactions from that point forward by default goes to MWEB. You can override that, but even for peg outs, peg-ins, whatever, anything involving an MWEB input or output, it tries to keep the change on the MWEB side, and that's to improve privacy.
I suppose more people, as people become more and more comfortable, they'll feel more comfortable leaving it longer too.
Mm-hmm. I plan on doing a lot of work on the wallet side. The node should be solid. That was the big focus. All along was been to make sure we got consensus all figured out perfectly. There's no holes there. With the wallet was like, it was more an afterthought. Obviously I knew it all had to be done, but like it wasn't from the ground up redesigned to support MWEB, perfectly to think all the edge cases that would result in your coins getting pegged out or whatever. I expect to spend a lot of time in the future really improving how we choose coins, how we determine change, how we do all kinds of different things. So there will be lots of improvement on that side to try to keep coins in the MWEB, to try to make sure everybody's privacy is the best it can be with this technology.
Hey, so David, I asked you right in the beginning, like after miner activation, was there this sense of relief? You said no. Is now there a sense of relief right
after
now?
locked in. You asked me after logged in.
After locked in.
We have now activated. Yes, there is a huge sense of relief after seeing both locked in and, like I said, the multiple blocks one after another coming in and the mempool completely clearing each time is a huge relief. Yes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people asking just how do we use it? How do we use MWEB?
Yeah, you gotta get the core core 0.22.2.
Hang on, I'm gonna do something here.
And then
but in the future you will just use MWEB as money, right? So you'll have a
well, I think like the question is maybe how to use it, how do you send out MWEB, things like that.
So
check it out.
You want to generate your Litecoin MWEB, LTC MWEB1 address. And anytime you are using that address, you're getting the coins on the MWEB.
So very simply, you go to litecoin.org, and this is actually the homepage right now. And you click on this, and you will download Litecoin Core 0.21.2. And when you get it, it'll take some time to download. It takes like a day because you're downloading the entire blockchain. But once it's up to date, hang on, I'm going to show you. Ooh, there's no reason I can't show my wallet, right? There's no privacy concerns.
Nope, unless you have a lot of coins.
Well, I just gave them all to David. He's a high roller. So, all right, we got done with that. Let me stop this screen. Might as well walk through this, right? All right. So this is your Litecoin Core. Is there a way to make that font any larger for people to see?
Yeah, probably not.
Like if I were an old person.
Let me see.
Control plus, no. Well, anyway.
No.
Hey, I got somebody. Somebody just sent me some MWEB coins. Fantastic. Thank you, whoever just did that. So you go into here. I went to send, and I know this is very small. I don't know if anybody can see this, but this is how I sent one to David. What the heck? Where was it? Where'd it go? Maybe I need to shrink this again. Oh, well, he would give me an MWEB address. But if I want to receive, if I want to request, I'm sorry, that's where I messed up. You can have a BEC32 address, check this, or you can generate an MWEB address. Create new receiving address. And all of a sudden now you're receiving MWEB coins. And so those coins...
so this is a stealth address.
Yeah, so those coins, when somebody... Like I just received 0.2, right? Yeah. So their wallet, their core wallet is pegging into MWEB.
Well, it depends, right? If they're sending you coins that are already on the MWEB side of things, then it would just be an MWEB transaction. Right. Oh, if they're sending coins from main chain, then it'll be a peg-in directly to your address.
So, David, can we try this? I just sent you some. Will you send me like one back, and I'll send it back to you again?
Yeah.
And those will never populate.
Send me
anywhere, right?
What do you mean? Like you'll never see the address anywhere?
Yeah, like it's not gonna. There's nothing visible on the blockchain. Let's do it here. Let's do it here. I'm gonna send you
Can you
this.
send me an address?
It's in the private chat. So take
Oh,
that
there it
and do like 0.69420.
Okay.
And then we'll know that it's not anywhere to be found.
So could you argue that the most secure transactions are not pegging in or out, but transacting within MWEB itself? Possibly.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure.
All right,
Yeah.
so
I'm secure by secure, I mean like private.
Yeah.
Dang, whoever sent me that 0.2, I'm very appreciative of that. There it is. Okay, so can I look at this transaction?
Wait,
I'm such a noob when it comes to the core wallet.
You can double click on it.
Oh, you didn't do the fee again, David. It came out
Oh, son of a gun.
0.694161.
Did I really not?
Hey, I got the first one in right, Grant.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, you did. All right.
Boom.
Look at you guys. All right.
You got to read the message, though, on the other one.
All right, I will. So I can see, this is what we see. I got so, but this is not going to be anywhere on a regular node. Only you and I can see this information, correct? David?
Only you and I can see the amount, can see the address. Yes.
Oh,
so all you'll see on the node is, well, on a block explorer, you won't see anything yet because there's no MWEB support. But on an upgraded node, you'll see this. You see that at the bottom it says MWEB output, and then like D3, D2, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that? Is that really small for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see it. I don't know. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's better.
Well, control swipe.
So that will show up on other nodes, but it doesn't tell them anything.
So if I look for this transaction ID, this is what does this do?
So the transaction ID is not necessarily very useful with MWEB, because if you remember, we can like aggregate transactions and stuff.
Yeah.
If we aggregate two transactions together, their transaction ID changes. So like with MWEB, the transaction ID isn't really canonical the way it is in other Litecoin transactions. So it's not nearly as useful. That's why you have this MWEB output, which you can see. That will be the same on all nodes. It'll always have. You could always look up that output there.
All right. I'm going to send you back. Well, now I have enough to send you back 0.69420. That's a shout out to the Doge community. Charlie, what's going on with the Doge thing?
What do you mean?
Well, Billy kind of gave you a little, hey, what's up? And you put the dog in your profile. Are we making it official, I've been asking Dogecoiners out on dates. It hasn't worked out so well so far.
Should I update my Facebook?
Well, he's officially a canine now.
Dude, I mean, we've been
official for like many years already.
I know, but we're in a relationship. Would you agree?
It's been that way for many years.
I'd say in a relationship, and it's complicated. I would say. Yeah. I think that's still a status. Yep.
From amount.
It's complicated because we were on top for a while. Now we're on the bottom.
I know. You just made that really weird.
I'm not going to comment on that.
All right.
So back to pegging, right?
You want pegging again? All right, hang on. I'm sending you back these coins. These are full MWEB transactions betwixt you and I, David.
Wait, you sent it to yourself.
What?
You pasted your address in there.
That's what it says.
Damn it. How do you see everything? How did you see that?
It says payment
on
to
your
yourself.
node it says
Payment
payment
to
to
yourself.
yourself.
I thought you were looking at your node and you're like,
No,
you did it.
no.
God damn it.
Yeah, my secret backdoor that I coded into the wallet.
I
It
knew it.
tells me
Fucking
every
knew it.
time everyone transacts.
All right. 2. This is
Oh,
you.
No, it's not. That's still not me. No, that's still you.
That's the 3.9.
Where
I
did you
sent
copy? Did you copy that from the payment to yourself? Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, hold on though. Be careful because that could be maybe. Is that what you did last time? Because maybe that's showing you change there. No, I don't know.
This is status.
Let me see.
This is the
Is that
original
my address?
3.9 I sent you after
That
the
looks right. Yeah.
test week,
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead and send it. Yeah.
Copy this. All right. I just sent coins to myself. Thank God I'm not using Bitcoin. That'd cost me a fortune. Like 58 cents. What did I give you? 0.69420. So yeah, don't subtract the fee because noobs do
Hey,
that.
whoa! Write something, Grant. You got to write something in the label,
Right.
the memo.
This is for you. This is for you.
Give him a little surprise.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Let's do
Rise
it.
Chicken. Right.
That's the name.
That is the name we've decided upon.
Or Buzz.
All right. Damn, it's quick. Did you get it?
Yes, just received now. Yep. Thank you.
Isn't that amazing, man? International payments, or wherever you are. Where are you? In the woods. I did a thing with Seth for Privacy. Do you guys know who Seth for Privacy is?
No.
I know there's a Twitter user named Seth for Privacy.
Yeah. He's got a podcast. He's a big privacy guy. We were making a joke like the only way to get true privacy is to live in the woods in a shack. Is that where you're at, David?
I'm in the woods. I'm in a 3-story building. Right downtown, actually, in the huge metropolis of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. I used all my Litecoin wealth to buy this huge downtown 3-story building as an office, and that sounds like maybe I'm overpaid or something, but this building was super cheap, and the 3rd floor had probably like a foot or more of dead pigeons in it. I shit you not. And so that's how I got it.
No beer.
They had that. I mean, I had that. It's gone. But yeah, it literally like the 3rd floor was like taken over by pigeons for probably 2 decades.
Wow.
And so we got it finally all cleaned up and remodeled and stuff. So now I have a super cheap, but what seems super not cheap downtown 3-story office just for myself.
It looks nice.
Pretty legit.
Yeah,
this is not even like
Dave.
Yeah. And right across from McDonald's, so like life is good, Simple.
Oh, she's gonna like that.
Yeah, so I can walk down like 50 stairs, get some McDonald's, walk back up, and I like burnt, I think, probably half the calories. We'll go with that.
It's time to get hungry.
Dude, I started working at home about 3-4 months ago. It's the worst thing. I'll go like 600 steps. It's like you're not moving at all.
You can't do
know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, and then I have 3 kids, so like working from home was not working at all. So that's why we got this, and it's been pretty awesome.
All right. What else you guys got?
We should answer questions in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
Let's see.
Can you guys see all the same comments I'm seeing? On the right here. I don't know if you can see them or if I'm the only one that can see them.
Would rather eat the pigeons
see
than
'em,
the
but-
McDonald's.
What's the easiest way to update a pre-existing older wallet? This is actually a good question.
Pre-HD.
Well, meaning like let's say I've got a 0.18.1 that I'm running now. How do I get it to 0.21.
Well, back up your wallet.dat. You should always do that before every upgrade. Then you can.
Which is what? Hang on. Backup wallet right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, hang on. I mean, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Hang on a second. You're like, way to go, Grant. Is that too big? All right, so yeah, so on here, backup wallet. And so you save the DAT file. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Call it whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. And then what do you do?
Close this and
Boom.
go to litecoin.org and download the new one. Now, if you are downloading it now, after MWEB has activated, you actually have to re-index.
Oh.
Because your node will not have all the MWEB data. When it downloads all the blocks up until now, it won't be downloading MWEB data because it doesn't know anything about it. So if you go now and like try to continue syncing, it'll look at the last block and say, oh, I don't have the MWEB data at all for that one. I need to go resync. So then you'll have to run it with dash reindex. Is that correct, Charlie?
Oh, sorry.
When upgrading after MWEB has already activated,
Yeah.
if you were like synced to the latest and then you try to upgrade to .21.2, is it re-index?
I think
that'll
it's
do a
re-indexed.
resync.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that'll go like, I think that resyncs like 95% on that one. But yeah, basically you've got to do a full blockchain resync, unfortunately. Maybe I could have done that a little better, a little smoother if we had a little more time. But for now, you pretty much just have to resync a node.
There's a lot of questions. Oh man, I'm not. Are you guys looking on YouTube? Is that where you're seeing questions, or can you see the same? You can see the same thing I'm looking at. All right. If I peg out from MWEB to my main address, same I sent from. I don't know what that means. Can someone trace my MWEB transaction?
What? Ask it again. Is that?
I don't know if it's clear here. They're saying if I peg out from MWEB to my main address, the same one I sent from. I think what he means is the same one I pegged in from.
If you peg in,
can someone
to the
trace my
MWEB,
MWEB transactions?
If you peg into the MWEB and then immediately peg out to the same address, that would be very bad for your privacy. Yeah, to peg out to a different address immediately after is not great for privacy. The more transactions on the MWEB you can make before pegging out, the better off you are.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like people are just going to kind of live in MWEB for like once we get mobile adoption? Do you feel like there will just be MWEB
once we get
wallets?
Once we get
all they are is MWEB.
Yeah, the more adoption we get, the better this gets. Maybe someday, like MWEB is the default, and then like we talked a little bit. I think Master was leading some of these UI discussions where, like in the future, it'd be great if MWEB was default, and you just like you choose send Litecoin, or like have a transparent option which uses the classic script like Litecoin transaction where your amounts are all transparent and visible, but everything else would be MWEB by default. That would be a great goal to get towards. If we could get to that, people would have pretty good privacy. You're still not going to have Zcash type privacy, but you're going to have more than enough for your everyday transactions.
When people ask what is Litecoin, then MWEB is doing really well.
Yep.
All right, so there's other questions around this guy, keyword management. I don't know who he is, but he's had a few questions. But one is, could we do a Zoom call or a YouTube live stream to help people set up a wallet / move coins to MWEB and make a first transaction. I did show you the best thing is go to litecoin.org and download the wallet. That's the biggest step into making an MWEB transaction. After that, you have to find someone else who has an MWEB wallet. So, if you want to, I put one on my Twitter. If you want to send one to me and in the message say send it back, I'll gladly do that just so you can try it out. But you have to have a Litecoin Core wallet, which is on your desktop. There's no other place to get it. You can't put Core anywhere else, correct, guys? Not yet.
Windows, Mac, or Linux desktop. Yep. Van Rain asks, how far are you guys in having a library for hardware wallets to support MWEB? I've thought through this. I have an API ready, but I have not written code there. It's something I don't expect to take too long. So it's something I could probably have in the somewhat near future, next few months. But then it's up to the hardware wallet devs to integrate it.
David, you were mentioning too that wallets would have to download the entire blockchain. Is that right? Or there's some.
So yeah, we have also the question of how do they sync? How do they check the status of things? They're basically all light clients, right? They don't have full nodes on those, so we do still also have to figure that out. That's right, Alan. And that is our high. That's probably the biggest or one of the biggest priorities now that everything is activated and seems to be working smoothly, is to focus on getting light client support because it's not as straightforward as it used to be.
Hey, David, I got a question for you. So I'm looking at my Core wallet. My balance is my balance. It doesn't tell me which ones are Core coins and which ones are MWEB coins.
Mm-hmm. If you really care, you can go into settings and wallet and enable coin control.
Okay, settings, encrypt wallet, or options?
Options. No, definitely don't want to encrypt. No, settings, options, wallet, enable coin control features.
Okay.
Hit OK.
Yeah.
Okay, and then go to send. And do you see you have a new like panel there that says coin control features?
Yep.
Hit inputs.
Yeah.
And there
I
are
should have this visually.
Yeah, and there are all of your unspent coins. And you can see which of them are MWEB and which of them are your traditional.
So I can select which coins I want to spend.
Mm-hmm. Ideally, the reason we don't have anything face up is because we don't want people to think of MWEB coins and Litecoin. It's Litecoin. We just want to encourage people to look for the Litecoin, the LTC MWEB one, and that's how you know you're using the MWEB. That's how you know you're getting better privacy.
So if an MWEB address is presented to me, my Core wallet, it's going to opt for MWEB coins first.
If you're what? Sorry?
It's going to send if an MWEB receiving address is presented to my wallet, I enter it, it's going to prioritize MWEB.
It is. It's first going to try with all your MWEB outputs, and if you have enough of those to send, to cover the amount, it will use those. It won't touch your regular Litecoin outputs.
I love it.
And you can override that with this coin.
You guys really thought of everything, didn't you? You crafty motherfuckers. So. It really was. It's great. That makes it so easy. So your regular users really have no idea. It makes no difference to them whether they receive an MWEB or send an MWEB.
Yeah. The only time it matters is if you receive on your MWEB here with Litecoin Core, and then you try to restore your wallet on another wallet that doesn't support MWEB yet, it's not going to know about your MWEB coins. But as far as I know, Charlie, I think you said you don't even, there's not even like an option to like export to like, you don't get like a seed phrase ever in Litecoin Core, do you? Or at least not by default. So it's not really
No.
like you share this seed with another wallet. It's a Litecoin Core only a wallet. So
Yeah, I mean,
probably
it's the
isn't
wallet
something we
that.
even have. Yeah, it probably isn't even something we have to worry about. Yeah, so yeah, regular users don't have to worry. If they have, they can share their Litecoin MWEB address, and hopefully their sender, whoever is sending to them, supports it. If not, they'll have to generate a regular address.
So your backup of your core wallet with the backup file will contain everything MWEB related as well, obviously, right?
Yeah. Yep.
If you have to in case you have to restore it.
Yeah. Well, okay, guys, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting late. How late is it for you, David?
It is 2:12.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm with David.
damn.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Good morning, Rick.
surprisingly quiet upgrade. Nothing,
That's a good thing.
nothing. Yeah, it is a good thing. Everything just went. Nothing happened. Just all good.
Congrats to you guys.
I will say, like, coming into this, I thought this was going to be, you guys were comfortable, happy, no worries. I thought,
Have you ever seen that old Honda commercial? It's like 4 minutes long, and it was like they roll a ball, and it's one of those ones where like the ball hits something and moves to something else, and it knocks something over, and then that knocks something else over, and
like
all
a
of a sudden,
Rube Goldberg thing, yeah.
yeah. So, and at the end, it's like, isn't it great when things just work? Well, that's kind of how I feel right now. Like,
Yeah.
we rolled that ball, all that shit happened, and then suddenly it just like it worked.
Dude. Relief, right?
Mhm.
Big
Yeah.
deep breath. Yeah,
I was
congrats.
looking for some drama.
There's 168 coins now on MWEB.
Whoa, cool.
We'll celebrate when that hits
Only-
1 million.
Only 70,360,000 to go.
Charlie, again, can you remind where are you looking to see that?
You just look at the last block, scroll all the way down to the last transaction, click on that, and then just look at the output of that
The bottom,
transaction.
okay.
Yeah.
First output. Yep.
Hey, I was gonna, can I make a joke and a dig about Liquid, or is that uncool?
Go for it.
There's been more transactions on MWEB than there has been on Liquid in the last 24 hours.
Is that true, or are you just making a
What are you
joke?
talking about? Do you ever look at the Liquid blockchain? It's ridiculous.
No,
There's
no.
a Coinbase transaction every minute, and there's maybe 8 every hour.
Good
I
thing
don't
something.
I'm looking at
Not
it right now.
I know you're friends with Samson, so I don't want to.
Oh, he's not at Blockstream anymore.
Well,
so-
I know. Yeah, you look at the mempool. Just look at mempool and pull up Liquid. There's almost nothing that goes on that blockchain.
Yeah, there's not much.
It only cost $300 million. So
Yeah. Well, Liquid also has confidential transactions, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 an hour. No, just kidding. All right, I won't.
Well, it's
take-
cool that people are using MWEB. There's a lot of peg-ins and peg-outs. Very cool.
Listen, I'm going to say the third time, it's the biggest upgrade in the history of crypto. David, congratulations. Charlie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like
Now
I
you can
understand.
sleep.
It's been huge. It's been a long time, and it's probably a matter of like you're a bit over it, right? It's a relief. Go to bed, but really appreciated from everybody in the Litecoin community. So
Yeah, thanks to everyone that's helped out. I mean, we have a lot of people helping out, like testing on testnet. We found lots of like issues, mostly just UI stuff, but still lots of stuff that we found and we're able to fix before the launch. So it's been good.
all right, If you're taking off, the only thing I'm going to do, you can leave if you want. I'm going to play what I believe to be the theme song of MWEB. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Do it.
I mean, it's what I've been doing so far, so we'll see. Can't hear anybody. I can't hear anybody. All right. All right. Hey, Master, what's up? I had to turn it off. I'm excited. How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah, everything went great.
Turn off. Hang on. I think I can turn off the foundations thing. Hang on. You know what? I'm just gonna end it, and then, but we'll stay in the room. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, bye, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
No worries.
Thanks, man.